James, have you got us a reading or not?
Right, yeah, I'll have a look. So what was the last one we did? It was Katie, wasn't it? We done
The
one
last
with
one was
Katie.
Katie, yeah.
Right, okay. I'm
She
going to read
wished
one
many
from the...
children upon you.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, sure. She was telling me to like have lots of children with the girlfriends at the time, who was her best mate, who dumped me not long after I had this book written.
And she was 15 as well.
And I was 15 as well. Yeah. Right. Okay.
I just imagine you bring all in an egg carton.
We've done one off Jenny, haven't we? The one I used to I took the piss out of her voice, didn't I? So we've done that one.
Yeah, we've done that one.
Right. So this is from a girl called Leanne Simpson. I don't remember her too much. I think I went out with her for a bit, actually. I don't know.
Oh, of course you did.
How much blood did you get at this school?
Diddly fucking squat, son. Diddly squat.
All fictional.
I was...
the Friend Zone Chronicles.
I wasn't a success with the ladies by any stretch. I stunk of smoke because my parents smoked. I live in a two down scruffy house in Lazenby. So I wasn't the best dressed guy.
Oh.
My hair wasn't the best. The wavy hair wasn't fashionable then. But I was a class clown as well. So yeah, I done all right, but my mates done much better than I did. But they were better looking than I was. I'm like a swan, mate.
What do you mean?
Anyway, well, I've just got better with age, haven't I? Like
Right.
It's like a fine wine.
Yeah, it's fine
It's
wine.
gone off.
Yeah.
Corked bottle.
Right, are we ready?
Go
Hi,
on.
Lizo. And on the I for hiya, she's done like a little X on the top as well, which is nice. How are you doing? So we didn't spell properly in them days. This is 2001. Text speak was becoming the norm. So it's how, letter R, letter U doing, question mark. I'm sorry about the time I finished you over the phone. I did go out with her. Yeah, so she dumped me over the phone. That's I remember now. So I started going out with her. I think she started going out with me as a revenge to somebody else because the other girl fancied me. I went and met her once, and like over the summer holidays, and I didn't even see her after that for ages. And the mate Colette ran me and said, "Oh, Leanne says you want to see her anymore." So I do remember this now. Right. Okay, hi Lizo, how are you doing? I'm sorry about the time I finished you over the phone. You are a sound lad and a good friend. I wish you and Michelle all the best for the future. Back to Michelle again. All the best for the future. And I hope you become a successful farmer. Only joking. Lol. Lazenby is a lovely place. And when I go to the Half Moon for scampi and chips and salads, I will come and visit you. She never did. Whilst this book was getting written, completed, Michelle had dumped me about halfway through. She'll see some backlash from other people about that. So,
whoa, when's this?
Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
So, mate, you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good.
Sound very upbeat, Josh.
I'm always upbeat.
Yeah. Sounds like Les Dennis post-divorce, doesn't he?
Tim Mawson, head of partnerships at Salesfire. And we also have Matthew from Mabo, who is their senior PPC trainer as well. How are you doing?
Oh, all right.
Matthew Soakell has his name on 3 awards.
And he's the star of BBC Bite Size. It's big time.
Oh, I did do his research. Jeez. So a little bit about me is, as mentioned earlier, I'm senior PPC trainer at Mabo, so it's my responsibility to train all of our staff members from a PPC perspective. And then I do a little bit of speaking up and down the country that James likes to make me feel good about. So talking about Google Ads events and conferences and that sort of thing. So yeah, keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble. And of late, I've been very much enjoying doing training sessions from home. So people are like, not that they're not engaged, not that I'm crap at my job. Well, I'm not too crap at my job, but like people are kind of more engaged because they're looking at a screen rather than just being in a room sort of thing. Like they feel like it's not one-on-one with them, but they feel like it is more one-on-one with them because they're looking straight at the deck that's being presented on screen. So yeah, it's I quite enjoy it, to be honest. It's good.
Is it true you did actually do your first public speaking slot at 17-year-old?
A little group of churches that I used to be involved with do this like big youth event like once every month on a Friday night, and they got me up to speak. So a 17-year-old bag of nerves, and
he didn't believe in God.
And that was my first. That's why I never got invited back. That was the first public speaking I did, but then it was weird though. Like from doing that though, I was like, despite being like cacking it, I was like, I like this. And like most people, that's weird, isn't it? Because most people are like,
Yeah, it's weird.
Nobody likes public speaking. Nobody likes it.
you go about this, don't you, James, all the time? Yeah, like I enjoy it.
And finally, Elliot Ling's Sales Fire. Have we decided on your title yet or not?
No.
Nah.
I've been here 4 years, and I don't think we're gonna come to a conclusion anytime soon.
I've been given an official title anyway.
What is it?
Ever?
Junior Dev. Some little recruiters listening to this going, "Oh, Junior, I'll get him on the books."
We have listeners in France now. Did I tell you that?
Oui.
Our most dedicated listener is in France.
How did you hurt your arm, Rich?
You rang me on video call, and I thought I can go on a run whilst on a video call, and it turns out you can't. So you get to Curbs, and I went sprawling. I went sprawling, and then just literally, it was like a kid in the playground, you know, where you just like every knee and elbows just all scraped up and stuff. So I did that, and then I picked it up again. They didn't realise what's happened. Thankfully, we're on lockdown, so no one's can actually like see me doing it direct.
I thought you said I'm gonna lie down.
Yeah, because I normally do that during a run. Thanks.
I thought you might have been quite tired.
And then I said, "This had better be good, whatever you want to ring me about, Elliot." And Elliot was just buying himself time, like thinking of something better than the like completely mute point he was actually ringing me about.
Didn't you say you'd broken your finger?
Yeah, that's separate. I think I was doing a handstand. Like I've got a weird lump in it, and it won't bend properly. That's basically the skill I'm going to try and learn over the next few weeks.
You're not going to fucking do it again, are you?
What are you doing?
The state of that.
Rich just dropped his pants there on his trousers on camera.
Well, fortunately, we're audio only, aren't we? So it doesn't matter.
Not this
What
way.
do you think?
Right, should we move on to the?
Let's talk about some e-commerce.
Right, here we go. Subscription box retailers are enjoying high search traffic and very low online advertising costs. We have discussed this previously, but
Yes.
You're a big advocate of this subscription service, aren't you? But Rich, you're not as convinced.
I just think people go back to the shops when this is all over and hug.
What, hug a shopkeeper?
It just sounds nice little treats in it. I got this sweet treat one.
Nice little treats.
Yeah, I got like some biscuits in it, some crisp chocolate, some rice, bottle of cider. It was good.
School Harvest Festival.
I love subscription boxes. I think it's a great model, fantastic model.
I had a weird conversation with a retailer the other day. It was previously a florist and solely a florist, but like a nationwide one. And what they've done is diversify basically what they do, because people weren't obviously that bothered about buying flowers online and stuff like that. So they've changed it up, and now they're sourcing fruit and veg and doing like fruit and veg subscription alongside it.
Yeah.
Sort of change that up and make it a bit different, I suppose.
So I imagine they've looked at their supply chain as it stands currently and thought, what else are these warehouses?
Well, I thought
the reps will be buzzing, won't they? Because the reps are like, oh, nice one, by the way, we do this, we do that. And like, fuck it, I can sell more doing that now.
Yeah.
It's a pretty strange upsell, though, isn't it? Like you're buying some flowers and it's like,
you're an orange. See that as a top-up. You bought these flowers. How about a bag of oranges?
This is quite an interesting one, actually. So the store's announcing big clearances just to get rid of backlogs of stock.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a story that was flying around from a couple of, like, I suppose you class them as like high street retailers. They've obviously bought in excess amounts of t-shirts, not planning for this, or other bits and bobs of clothing. Obviously being hit with coronavirus and didn't really have the space to sell it. So now they have excess stocks, and as soon as apparently it's up and ready to go, it would be pretty much on sale for next to nothing to get rid of it.
Yeah, because they've got to recycle the stock to buy in the following season.
this sounds like advertising to me.
I think we said from the beginning of this that this is the type of thing that was going to happen.
What, the huge clearances and the huge discounts?
Huge clearances. People need to move that stock on because it's worth about, I think in fashion it's worth about 10p in every pound once it's out of season.
It goes on to this next point we've got here. Everybody cancelling their orders from the producers in Bangladesh. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're asking for compensation from the government or support from the British government, aren't they?
Yeah, so I think there's only Primark that are still going through with their orders.
I think it's all, like, they're ridiculous Primark because they haven't made a penny since lockdown. So why are they buying more stock? How much stock are they going to have?
It's mad.
Like what they're doing?
With Primark, because of the price point of the items, do you think there's less seasonality is less important?
Well, you're not going to buy shorts in December, are you?
No, but things like t-shirts and joggers and things like that.
Oh yeah, you'll buy stuff like that, but still, like Primark, that's still heavily seasonal. If you go in the shop, like the Dragon Transmillionaire, when we go to town, and fucking hellhole. But
well, could they bring that? They could just bring that back in next spring, summer, couldn't they? Whereas if it's a high-end designer shop.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it's not exactly cutting edge fashion, is it? Primark, to be fair. So yeah, you can bring your white t-shirts back, can't you? And bring your manty shorts. So yeah, they're probably all right. But where do they keep it though? In between, like. And then what does that mean? Their order for spring summer next year is going to be down then, or what? I don't know.
Maybe they're one of a kind though, because like everyone else who's like has online stores and is actually shipping this regularly, like they're absolutely flying. So like, I wonder if like same with Primark, like they're just gonna have like big lockups of random white t-shirts that they're gonna have to bring out next year again. Like, how's it gonna work? Like,
yeah, imagine that if they knock out, like, say they've had some designs copped up now for something that was in, like, I don't know, something that was in the news like now because they're quite prone to that. Like we were talking about last week where they had like the quarantine queen masks on like some site, I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
They just had people eating bats on shirts coming out next year.
The other thing
if anyone's going to have t-shirts like that, it's Primark, innit?
Yeah, 100%. They'd be all over that, or some other mad slogan they can stick on there.
The thing is, if they don't keep paying and nobody else keeps paying, all of a sudden these factories start closing. They can't ramp back up to what they need.
No.
You see how much stock they go through.
Which leads us to a point, I suppose. Why don't Primark have a e-commerce store?
Turnaround.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I do not get it.
Too quick a turnaround on product for them. That's what it'll be.
Because it's so cheap, you mean?
Yeah, it's so cheap. It's by the time they deal with online, they probably you think if you go in Primark, you get a lot of product for about 30 or 40 quid.
Yeah.
So,
But you're doing most fast fashion ones, though, mate. Like if you're a lash, like I remember Scarlett when she used to get deliveries to work all the time. She'd have like 6 dresses for £1.
Well, there's another argument to it. Do we know how much do we know how much they're losing Primark a month?
Well, it was 650 million they made in sales per month. And they've not made a penny, obviously, since lockdown.
So I think what people forget at times is that the website alone can't bail them out. So if they've got £600 million worth of revenue, they normally turn over. That's 7.2 billion that website's got to do to make up the deficit, which it's never going to do.
Yeah, it's not going to do the deficit, but it'll certainly cover a bit of it, won't it?
Make a dent, won't it?
Yeah, even if they copped up like 2 million quid a month or something at a baseline, it does something.
Yeah, but again, you've got to look at this. Is what people forget. They just look at it and go, right, we can just sell them through the website. They need to market that website. They're starting from scratch anyway, and I know they could accelerate quicker than most others. But they've still got to market those products. They've still got to spend on Google. They've still got to bring in the staff. They've still got to have specialist warehousing and delivery for it and things. And you can't just ramp this up overnight. So by the end of it, even if they got this website so it's turning over 200 million, it might be clearing 60 million in profit if they're doing well.
To be fair,
it's just like those sales are not just money in your pocket at the end of the day.
No, I get that, but what people were raising as a point is that they already have a strong following on social, etc.
Yeah.
Like 6 million on Instagram, I don't know how many on Facebook, something like that, and they could just use that to funnel the traffic through.
Primark could release a press release. By the way, we're going online as of the 1st of May. And there we are. They've got £1 million minimum turnover a month easily because
I think the
everyone's
logistics of it will be difficult for them.
That's
I don't
what
think you can just set up a warehouse.
That's the hardest part, yeah. Logistics. But let's be honest, if they could phone up DPD, UPS, anyone, say, oh, by the way, we've got this business going here, everyone will pitch and go dirt cheap because they know how valuable a contract like Primark
it's saying here though that they were making 650 million a month in sales, obviously to nothing. But then they've said previously that they don't have an online store, offer click and collect, because like what you're saying, it's like to keep the prices low for clothing, it's not sustainable for them to offer delivery and click and collect sort of options.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
It doesn't even sound like it's something that would even consider.
There's no way to offset any of that cost at any point, is there? Because the margins are so slim.
I mean, Boohoo's managed to do it, but they spent years perfecting that.
And that is just a pure play, though, isn't it? Like they don't have a Boohoo store or anything, so.
Yeah. But at the same time, Primark might not be enough people who are able to put that into place, the online stuff. They might not have the expertise to do it. Your companies like Marks and Spencer and Next and Boohoo and Asda, they all manage their own stock themselves. They manage their own warehouses. So they do use other companies to do delivery, but all the warehouse management's done pretty much by themselves. They don't tend to outsource it.
It's interesting about just going back to Primark though. It's interesting because they're in there, like, they're owned by Social British Foods apparently, or something to do with that. But Primark contributes like 2/3 of the company's profit, like to that overall. So if Primark goes with if anything serious happened to Primark, then there's other companies now which are like Twinings, Blue Dragon Sauces, Ovaltine. People still drink Ovaltine. But there's like some big companies there, like that could be dragged into it, like with them, because of what Primark contribute to the overall company.
Yeah.
All that from like not having an online store. It's like you think like, the huge knock-on effect it would have, but then there's like an absolute like stiffer there. Sort of most town centres is Primark, isn't it? Like in terms of like cheap crap clothes, like
that's the thing. That's the thing. And if the rest of the high street's going to be super quiet off the back of this,
that goes back to the argument of subscription services and others. Will it still continue? I don't know. When people are allowed to go back to the shops, there will be a pickup, or like some pickup, won't there? But will it be to the level it was at? I don't know. I was reading a thing the other day, the YouGov survey or something, said like only 9% of people want life to go back to normal as it was before. I think people have enjoyed a little bit more the whole, not so much the queuing for shopping, but like the sort of quieter, less sort of more stress-free shopping experience where there's less people in store. And complete opposite. Like a couple of times I have braved Primark. It's like a zoo.
Yeah, I
compare that
agree.
to like only 40 people being allowed in a big Tesco once. It's like a complete different universe. Yeah,
I'd rather queue outside for a bit and get inside and it'd be like much more spacious like it is.
Because how much nicer is it in there? Like when you're going around doing your shop.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It's amazing. I suppose, but time will tell, won't it?
It's not how significant a change it is there really? It's just you. It could be you saying, "I'm just going to continue with my Grays box."
Well,
I think it was
Nobody
more to do with like
the Grays box.
It was like, well, they do by accident. I've been stung by them before. Like, so
yeah,
you have to be careful. But yeah, I think it was more. It wasn't necessarily, I don't think, totally about shopping habits and that sort of thing. It was regarding sort of a Sky News article about it, like cleaner air and like, wildlife and sort of community, sense of community and stuff like that. But I definitely think shopping is a factor in that as well. Like how people interact.
Do you think there's been a pickup in the amount of people using little independents instead? So if they
Absolutely,
go to the supermarket and now they just go to like one of the smaller shops, corner shops or whatever.
Quite a lot of the small independent like general stores and stuff like that are doing delivery around the local areas as well. So I was speaking with a friend of mine last night. He lives in Middlesbrough, Village Wines in Linthorpe, and like delivering him booze on a bi-daily basis.
That's an essential.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Like there's a little high street near me,
with
there's a Coupland's and then there's an independent bakery right next door to it. The Coupland's arriving was sort of seen to be the death knell for that bakery, but every day I've walked past it, there's been nobody in that Coupland's, and there's been a queue for that small independent bakery. Good. I think it's because they do the bread, they do I think they're doing bacon and eggs and things like that as well.
What did you think of? What did you make of the reaction to Greggs opening back up again? Because they're trialling 20 stores, aren't they, with social distancing? I was saying to you midweek, Josh, about how a lot of like Sports Direct took an absolute beating for staying open, but then Greggs have said they're going to trial opening again, and it's almost like people hero worship.
Yeah, I love how thin the line
isn't it, mate? Different, isn't it?
They've spun it slightly in that I think they're opening up Greggs that are in close proximity to hospitals and things. So they've almost spun it a little bit.
That's right, spread it quicker.
They're doing that a bit. We're surprised.
No, I don't get the comparison to Sports Direct at all. Sports Direct sell Mankey.
He was arguing it was essential business, wasn't he?
I know, because he's a cretin. But Greggs, you think about it. So I took my kid for a walk today. Walked to the Coupland's at the shops near us, right?
Yeah.
I was there as a domestic customer. Everyone else there are workies. Majority of tradespeople and stuff like that, if they can, they're still working. Work vans going on the roads all the time. And places like your Greggs and Coupland's, your ideal place to go. So Greggs being open, I'm surprised they're closed. Because all Coupland's doing one person out.
It's kind of mad that they won't let things like Greggs open, but they're happy for supermarkets and let people still walk in and out of supermarkets.
I thought the idea is you're getting multiple essential items in one place.
I think this is more of an example of that PR working as well. Like, we're sticking up for Greggs here. When you really think about it, they're not essential. Like, I see what you're saying, Jim. Workies can literally, just because they're
that's the difference in the supermarket. You can get all your essentials for the week.
Yeah, I
Greggs,
think
you're picking up 3% of your essentials for the week or whatever.
I think if it wasn't Greggs, we might not be as for it, might we?
That's what I mean. That's the beauty of it. Like, that's it. That's the job they've done over like such a long period. They've sustained the PR.
The problem with Sports Direct is like you got Mike Ashley that no one likes, and like McDonald's is this huge American like organisation which no one's gonna like just because it's a huge American organisation.
Being Cute have just reopened every store.
Yeah. Well, that's the retail partner made of the queue was like 45 minutes apparently. I wouldn't go in. I overheard. Yeah, it's mental, isn't it?
Just
like,
under
there's more sales staff in there anyway when you go in.
Oh,
you want some you've got to go into gardening.
It's a proper good point.
That is true.
you know what though? I was using their click and collect a couple of weeks back being Q, and it was a good setup. You order your product online to the store you wanted it, then they'll contact you. Basically, they'll call you and say, "Okay, Mr. Leeds, your order's ready." You pull up in one of the bays. They ask you who you are, then they go and get their order for you. They leave it outside your car, then you just fill your car up.
What was your order, James? Just out of interest, does I know how much of a man you are?
15 bags of plum slate, 4 bags of bark, and 4 bags
bottles
of
of
gravel.
bleach.
4 bottles of bleach, please.
Yeah, Tim.
In the lady's voice.
12 bottles of bleach, please.
Why is she covering her face?
Breaking news.
This just in.
Got few outputs on the line.
What is just in? What's Greg's done?
So they were obviously going to reopen the stores, but now due to a backlash, they're not.
Oh wow! So everything I was saying about the positivity turns out there wasn't so much positivity.
No, it's true. They're fearful of the risk of excessive numbers showing up.
People are that excited about it. They're worried that too many people will turn up.
To be fair, it is the one place where I can imagine people going mental and like queuing outside for hours just for a steak bake.
As sad as it is, when I heard the news, I did think, oh, I might actually have a wander over.
Case in point.
Where's
that's sad.
Last time I queued outside the Apple store, I'll get that.
Yeah. But McDonald's opened a branch this week.
Just saying that they're set to open another 20 for delivery.
I do feel like they've sort of waited for the sea to change in sort of public opinion, and now they're just opening. They're not really.
Yeah.
They're not really sticking to government guidelines here either. They're just waiting for the PR.
Like, if you do it, like, say they'll open, you are going to get like everybody go.
Right. Do you know what this brings us on to? Google Ads. Big grant.
It links perfectly, doesn't it? They brought this statement out a month or two ago saying that we're going to give everyone, well, not everyone advertisers, they're going to give advertisers some form of credit scheme, and then they updated it on the 20th, basically saying that there's a few little terms and conditions. So basically, you need to have been, in terms of being eligible for it, you need to have been advertising for something like 10 out of the 12 previous months or something like that. So if you've just started a Google Ads account in January or February, you're not going to get it. And equally, they haven't said specifically how much you're going to get in terms of a credit. So it's basically going to be divided by, I think it'll be kind of based on what an average spend from your account from 10 of those 12 months, and they'll give you like some sort of average or something like that. But basically, they said small and medium-sized businesses globally who've spent with a Google Ads account in 10 of the 12 months of 2019 and in January and or February of this year.
Wow, it's all very specific.
Yeah, initially everyone was like, "Oh, great!" Like and then initially I can't remember what the figure was, something $350 million or something. Which sounds like a lot of money, but then you think about how many advertisers there are. Like it's probably you're probably going to get like 1 month's free spend.
Is there any indication of when the money's going to hit the account as well? When the credit's going to hit the account? Sorry.
No, they've not said specific dates. It is part of that's part of like this whole sort of credit scheme is part of like a larger kind of commitment sort of thing from Google to try and help small businesses doing it. They put aside like another like 800 million for the whole sort of crisis thing.
Oh wow! Okay.
But I don't really think there's sort of any specific dates as yet.
The return of Google Shopping as well, isn't there? There's a free route to market.
Yeah, so they announced that like the day after. It's weird. Like they've just announced a few different things. They've announced like pretty major things all within quick succession without any massive sort of. There's not been an event. It's not like there's been sort of Google Market either. Like it's weird like how they've just thrown these new things in because of obviously what's going on. But yeah, so they've announced that it's going to be free to sell on Google coming very soon. I think it might have already launched.
Well, it used to be, didn't it? It was for years.
Frugal, wasn't it?
Frugal.
Yeah.
Google Base, it was called. And they called it Google Shopping. It was still free on there.
Yeah.
But then, when was it changed to a paid platform? Was it 2012?
Yeah, it's more recent than people think, and I think on that as well is it kind of when it got called out by the EU, was it 3 years ago? I can't remember.
2017, yeah.
Was that when they got the fine?
Yeah, they got like billions and billions of fine. It was like they were claiming they weren't making money, and it's like, well, no, you're clearly lying. So they've kind of been proved in court that actually you can get by without this. I don't think it's going to shift things monumentally, but I think what it probably will do is it might open up a couple of opportunities for people that maybe weren't willing to spend with Google before that now might be more inclined to try it, even if it's just a 3 or 6 month thing. I think it'll be helpful for a couple of retailers that might have been put off in the past.
Yeah,
I think those new to market ones, with these, if these independent ones are trying to get a little bit of traction, it's going to help those to maybe 3, 4, 5 orders a day, something like that. It'll just give them
ideal, isn't it?
need to get things moving along. Pretty much like it was years ago, back in the days when you'd have bedroom businesses that were ranking top 3 for things like handbags, really generic terms and things like that, which have obviously Google kind of wants your big high street, your big names to be at the top of Google, because I guess they're going to be most relevant in people's eyes.
Is this just a PR?
Well, yes, it gives a better search experience. That's what the whole algorithm updates were in 2011.
What were you saying there, Elliot?
Is Google doing this just for PR, like sort of show that they're on the retailer side?
Potentially.
Probably.
But there'll be an element of that for sure, Elliot, yeah.
It's a great time to do it, though.
What does the grants are only applicable to people who are already customers? So does that just help them? I guess if you can stop them going out of business, then they'll continue to push money your way in the future, won't it, towards Google?
It's similar with the Primark thing earlier. They've got to be spending because they can't afford to see these factories shut down. It's the same thing. You've got to basically take a hit to ensure people are going to be there for you to keep making money from.
The prices of ads have reduced in price anyway. But maybe that's why Google are doing it.
That depends on what industry, like where shopping's concerned. You've got some industries where it's just like with what's happened with the virus, like it's just gone quiet, like proper quiet. And certain advertisers have even sort of just stopped advertising because they're thinking about overheads and that sort of thing. But then I've got other clients. I've got clients that sell sort of DJ equipment, trampolines, that sort of thing, where like because they can't go out and buy this stuff from physical shops, retail online has just gone crazy. So actually, sometimes in some instances, cost per click has increased because there's more demand, because there's more competition, because people are focusing purely online. So with the ad grant, I don't know, like it's said it's kind of going to start in May in terms of rolling it out, but when will people actually get it? When will they benefit from it? I don't know. And how good will it make Google look? Actually, if you think about it in the long term, it could make Google look a bit. I mean, what it is to sort of to double-edged sword, really, isn't it? Do they offer nothing and look crap, or do they offer a little bit and be called out for it being crap because it's not enough? Like,
yeah, and I suppose it'll depend on the industry as well that someone's in. So if they are selling, say, DJ equipment or something, that credit's going to mean a lot less to them if the cost per click's super high at the minute.
Just looking at some of the numbers here, because I'm just trying to work out how thinly it's going to be spread. It was about 300 million that were committing, wasn't it?
$340 million. So yeah, maybe
Is that worldwide?
Yeah,
because it's looking here and just going through Google anyway. They reckon it's about 40% of retailers, 40% of small businesses actually use paid search. There's 5.8 million small businesses in the UK alone. So you're looking at 40% of those. You're looking at 2.2 million businesses just in the UK using paid search. It's not going to spread very fast.
No, exactly. So let's say like, I don't know. I mean, there probably is the data somewhere. I find out what the average spend for an SME is, but like per month. But even if it's like $5,000 or something, or even if it's $2,000 or $3,000, times that by how many you say it was, Rich?
About 2. Just in the UK alone, probably about 2.2 UK businesses.
Get a calculator out.
It's not going to go very far, is it?
No, I think my gut feeling is it'd be something similar to the like the startup vouchers. What were they about?
There's £100 or something, yeah.
I can't see it going much further.
And that's what I'm saying. It might come back to bite them because everyone goes, "You take people." Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, when it's taken them so long to get their act together.
They've been drawing it out. It's almost people will be afraid to switch off their ads just in case.
I mean, the other thing is like Google turns over like what 150 billion a year in revenue. Most of that'll be ad revenue, and the grant is what $500 million. So it's not going to really.
That's 340, wasn't it?
$500 million. So they're not
100% of their revenue they're getting out in the grant. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to make any difference.
Well, it's all relative, isn't it, to what they turn over?
Yeah, completely. And what the cost per click is at that point. Like, it's completely
and it costs them nothing to actually get someone to click on their ad. Like, they don't have to pay anything for that, do they?
And that's the thing. We've been talking about it for 4 weeks. So
yeah, it must just be a PR thing. And I bet there's other ad networks which wouldn't give you a grant in these situations. They make Google come out of it.
It could come back to haunt them. Like, it could be like the way they've done it, the way they've gone about it. It could come about as like completely
on the back
of what they were looking.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Matty. When there's such a big, huge machine like that as well, it's so hard to keep your messaging synced to what you're doing.
Let's be honest, right? Especially with Amazon, like when you focus it on them specifically, only recently have maybe they kind of shook off a little bit of that negative stigma. Like they do, like you can go and like visit their like warehouses now, can't you? Like that's a weird sort of excursion, isn't it? But like previously, like you remember how much sort of stick they got for like how badly staff were treated and how like they were like had to hit things within certain minutes and like all this sort of thing with like within their stores.
Yeah.
Like so they're not the they're not the most loved company. I know everyone uses them.
No, I boycotted Amazon, mate. Yeah.
Since
So
when?
He said it was going to boycott Wetherspoons, only won't.
I will.
I'm guaranteed first week back.
Mate, you'll die first.
You love the fact that you can order a drink and some food and not move from the table. There's no
I
chance you're going to go.
I absolutely
bet that
adore it. It's the best app ever.
It is the best app ever.
All I'm going to do, I've got to start a new SaaS company, which is going to be apps for pubs.
That's not a bad shout, that, you know.
Oh, yeah, that
So we all chip in.
Or is it just?
Elliot's making it for us.
Is it called Just Drink?
Elliot's going to take over the world.
Oh,
Just drink.
Oh,
just
Shannon
drink.
Booze, isn't it?
Hey, did you say Justine got bought last week?
Who bad?
Dutch company, I think it was.
Was that the one that's been arranged for a while?
Yeah, it was takeaway.com, so I suppose it's basically the continental version of Justine's.
Have you seen that Amazon have invested in Deliveroo as well?
The Deliveroo, that got blocked at one point, didn't it?
It's been approved now.
Yeah.
Why was it blocked?
That was going back last year, or that.
Yeah, so it's been yeah.
Why was it blocked
you're right.
originally?
Monopolisation.
Yeah, that was it. Monopolisation.
What's changed to let it go ahead?
It's because COVID-19's eaten the profits of Deliveroo. So.
Oh wow.
That's great.
On that note, we're pretty much good there, guys. Thank you very much.
That'll take some cutting.